Sabrina from Campbell's Freedom Farm. And how about we make a tasty and elegant phyllo recipe for an appetizer, or with the holidays, it's just so special to have something unique, such as goat's cheese with the autumn olive winterberry, and maybe even some persimmons. Trust me, these are amazing. So before we even start, and then you'll just see my hands, is you need to buy some phyllo. I bought this at Schnucks. We have a Schnucks, but Walmart also has it. It's like $5 and you get 2 of these. Don't open it until you're ready. And while you work with it, it has to stay in a towel. These are very tiny, paper-like things. And don't you love my English? Now, the next thing is most people brush it with butter. We aren't. We're not doing butter. I never do butter, okay? Well, I love butter, and if I do, it's Irish butter. I do olive oil because it's a clean taste. You need some of that, or else if you want a slightly nutty taste, get some walnut oil. Both of these could be bought at any store. Walmart even sells these. And then you need goat's cheese. Now, what I do, I have whipped cream cheese and then I have goat's cheese. So I do 2 to 1. So this is 8 ounces, so I did 4 ounces of goat's cheese, so then 2 ounces of whipped cream cheese. You adjust this to what your taste buds are. Then I have a little more than a 1/4 cup of the washed autumn olive berry. And then I'm only going to do half of this, just the autumn berry, and the other half's going to be combined with the persimmons. I don't peel these. That would almost be impossible. Just take your fingers and get the seeds out and just mush it. So take a fork and make sure the skin is all mushed down. Later on, I'll mix these. So let's go cooking. The first step is to take 2 sheets of the phyllo out and cover the remaining phyllo in a towel because it will dry very quickly. I then score those with a knife at 3.5-inch increments, but you cut these with any size that you need. I then take the mixture of the goat's cheese and cream cheese and I blend in the autumn olive berry or whatever berry you choose. And after it's mixed, I then microwave it for 1 minute so it gets really warm and easy to work with. I would always recommend using a silicone baking mat because no matter how well you fold these into the triangles, there's always 1 or 2 that leaks. And if you use parchment paper, it'll still stick. This is easier to work with and easier to keep clean. I then take one of the pieces that you cut and separate it from the other part, and I brush on gently the olive oil or walnut oil. And don't over brush it. 1, it'll tear, and secondly, you don't want it too oily because you don't want these oily coming out of the oven. I then mat it down with my hands so it sticks. Make sure you do all the pieces. I think I have 5 that I separated. And otherwise, they'll dry by the time you finish stuffing them. Here's the fun part. You take a teaspoon and you basically put it on the edge of the first piece, and you take the end and you fold it to to make a triangle against the other edge. And you just keep folding it. It's like the old football that you used to make with the paper when you were in school. So just fold to make a triangle, fold to make a triangle. Once you start doing this, it just makes sense. It's real easy. And at the end of the fold, you put olive oil and then close it with your hand. Once you've finished stuffing those, I put them back on the silicone baking mat and make sure that there's a gap between them, because if one starts leaking, you don't want it to burn or ruin the other one. So I leave an inch gap, and once you put them all on there, I then put them into an oven that had been preheated at 350, and I put them on the top rack. Now, while those are cooking, let's make our next batch. This time I'm going to mix in the persimmons with the autumn olive berry, and the same process. Mix it together, and then you want to microwave. Then I do the same process where I brush olive oil or whatever oil onto the phyllo sheets, and I stuff them with the mixture. The process is the same. Just fold them into triangles and make sure you put a little olive oil on the end so the last fold sticks really well. You take them out of the oven when they start lightly browning. Make sure that you serve these warm. They have turned out amazing. I did batches of some with the olive oil, some with the walnut oil. As far as the oils, I think I like the walnut. It's just a little more earthy, and we're going into, well, we are in autumn. And for the holidays, you know, this would be perfect. The other one's amazing too. Now, as far as the persimmon with the winter olive berry, oh my gosh, that's my favorite. It just really adds almost like a sweet taste to it, which is funny because they could be so tart. Now, all you do then is plate this, and I would put some of the berries and the persimmons. Not that anybody will eat them, but it's really beautiful if you're entertaining. You can also leave a little honey for those that like to just drizzle. Don't do that until you're ready to serve, because these are crispy. Now, what happens if you want to do it earlier? You could do these and then put them back into the oven to slightly warm it up. But this is Sabrina from Campbell's Freedom Farm. This is a great way to use the food that you grow or forage. I mean, they're both great. Please, thumbs up and let me know if you try it or if you vary it with another berry. I'm kind of curious about the blueberry with this, or my favorite, the raspberry. Have a great day. Thumbs up.